Raise your hand.
En contra.
Against?
Abstenciones.
Abstentions?
El resultado de la votación.
The result of the vote is as follows. 13 votes in favour, 1 against, 1 abstention.
El proyecto de...
The draft resolution has not been approved due to the veto of a permanent member of the Security Council.
Right. So this took place last week. All right, Friday. Okay. The U.S. vetoed a no ceasefire or a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Okay. The U.K. abstained from it. All right. Basically, they didn't have anything to do with it. Okay. So what you're seeing here is more provocation for the the nations that hate the whore. All right. And those nations are the EU nations, which you can call NATO. All right. This is a provocation for them to hate the whore. Now, America's, among other things, there's a long list of sabotage, coup d'etats, uh, economic sabotage over the years, over the decades that these nations have to deal with because of, the West prowess in the earth. It's just, it's very um, deceitful and very brutish how they've been moving, all right, and how their foreign policy is, all right. They basically have diplomatic immunity to commit war crimes, all right. And as you can see, his body language, all right, which they got Jake as the face of the decision making, but we know it's Esau's system at the end of the day. All right, so hold on, let me. He threw his hand up, all right. He threw his hand up, all right, as to say that yes, we're still going to go through with it, even though that they're committing treacherous crimes, and that those people that's in the Gaza Strip, all right, they don't care, all right. But this lesson ain't about that. We understand that this is, these events are on par with prophecy, okay. But he threw his hand up really fast and very proud, and watch how his body language is. He's the only one sitting like that in this council. All right. And it goes to show you their pride. All right. And it's working against them, whether they know it or not. So only had a few precepts, like earlier, this is supposed to come out earlier this week. All right, but Monday, but I can never get the lesson up. So I'm just taking another shot at it, and I'm gonna just make it quick, straight to the point. All right, Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh power concerning Edom. All right, and we know Edom to be whom? The so-called white man. All right, because the earth, as the scriptures say in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth all the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where who is he? All right, so if it's not the so-called white man, who else is doing this, committing blasphemy? Uh, and put all their pictures up and taking all of the icons down, and who put themselves up as God and the judges. Esau did it. All right. Who? When you look at the condition of the world, it says the wicked rules the earth. Who's running the earth? All right. And look to what conditions that they leave the earth in. All right. So I'll read it again. Right. It says the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise. Right. Okay. And let us rise up against her in battle. All right. Okay. And who is that ambassador? All right. Uh, of course, it's the angels first, because the angels, they the ones that put it on these individuals' spirit to do what they're doing. All right. Okay. And then it trickles down. All right. Obadiah 1 and 2, it says, Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen and greatly despised. All right. And that's the chief house of Edom. The Lord is making them small among the heathen. All right. And greatly despised. Okay. And go into the word. We'll go into the word small really quick. All right. Here we go. Here it says qua. What is it? Quatazan, or Quatan. Excuse me. Yeah, Quatan. All right. And it says young, small, insignificant, unimportant, small, insignificant, young. All right. Which here, insignificant. All right. I'm thinking baser. All right. But it says little, small, smallest. All right. Lesser. Let's see. I am but a little child. All right. Let's see. But yeah. Okay. So let's see if there was a, yep, there's a root word. There we go. To loathe, be grieved, feel a loathing, to feel a loathing, right? So these nations feel a loathing, all right, against Esau. Okay. They really, really hate these devils, man, all right? Because all they've done on the world stage was sabotage, murder, all right, and just make things harder for people on purpose. All right. And they know that they can stop the evil that's going on in the world, but they continue to perpetuate it. These individuals, they continue to perpetuate it. They don't want world peace because there's no profit in world peace. All right, and that's why the scriptures say what it says. Pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. All right, we're gonna get to it, and I promise I'm gonna make this short. Obadiah 1 and 3. Pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. All right, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's right, you know. So your pride have deceived you, or it says here in the NLT, you have been deceived by your own pride. You see, your pride is making you loathsome among the heathen. All right, okay, amongst other things. You see, you want to spread your military thin, so it's making your home defenses uh, easily, you know, penetrable. All right, uh, among other things, because we know this place is being sabotaged as well. You know, and it's only the ones that's not in the know that's holding this place up. Okay, so here we go. Verse 4. Though it says, though thy excellencies, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. All right, and it's an actual particular time. Okay, that he's done this. But ever since he's done, you know, he's put his satellites up there. He's pretty much reached a level of how can I say, a level of you know, I'll use the word prowess. You know how they go about and carry themselves in the earth. You know, because they want to be the all-seeing, all-knowing. You know, they want to be at the top of the food chain. They want to be the apex predator. Okay, and so once you reach that level of advancement in technology, that's when you've always, I mean, that's when you've started to plummet. All right, your power structure started to plummet. Okay, it says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers come came to thee, will they not leave some grapes? Right? The gleaning grapes is what you leave for the poor. But the Lord is going to completely wipe you out, you see, and he's going to use your enemies to do it, right? And it all stems from your hatred and your strange nature, which you continue to push. I mean, which is continue. I mean, which is um, setting you up for your own destruction. So Revelation 17:15, and uh, this is going to be the last precept. It says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes, right, and nations and tongues. All right. Another word for sitteth here, I looked it up, is to rule. All right. And that's why this individual is a permanent security council member. All right. So they can't be moved off the board. Why? Because they need their chess pieces in play. All right. And it's not the game is rigged. All right. They own everything. The West. All right. Even though you see Jake as the face of the decision making. All right. It's the Edomite establishment, okay, that we're talking about here. It's the Edomite rule, his rule of law. All right. And it's to pretty much destroy everything. All right. Right. So the whore that sitteth upon what that sitteth upon this beast, all right, were Slaki, because it's Revelation 17. Let's see. Truckle with the blood of the saints. Let's go into the ancient world, but here we go. It says, and he said unto me, verse 15, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right. So America sits on all the nations. All right. As you can see, they're the ones that have diplomatic immunity to basically do whatever the hell they want and not have to answer for any of their crimes. Right. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, all right, these shall hate the whore. And those 10 horns, all right, which are now more than 10, all right, because these are the European Economic Community, all right, these are all member states of NATO, all right, the horns, okay, you have Belgium, France, Great Britain, all right, you had the Netherlands, all right, you got Spain, Italy, okay, and a few others, all right, which were the main 10 in Salaki. But now they comprise of more, all right, because more nations have joined the European uh, community, all right, as it explains it, all right. Uh, it deals with that, the tolls, and I think it's Daniel the second chapter, but I can't remember for the love of me. But all right. And we got that squared away, right? So these shall hate the whore. So these member nations, these nations, the 10 horns, and those that are allies with these horns, all right, um, they hating the whore, all right, as we can see, all right, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire, right? Now check this out, okay? Obadiah, back at Obadiah, okay, and 1 and 7. Check this out, all right. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. All right. So these nations are playing along only to a certain point. All right. And of course, the Lord is the one that's going to turn their hearts. All right. Because they already loathe the West. Okay. They already hate it because of their carbon footprint. All right. Their the things that they've been doing in the earth. All right. and in the West contribution to the world economic or the world stage is has been volatile. It's been unsustainable. Okay, and they got to remove them. All right, and it's gonna happen. All right, and for one, this place is being sabotaged from the inside out anyway. So uh, it says, the men that were at peace with it, the men that were at peace with thee, have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. See? All right. NLT says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. All right. And that's what's going to happen. It's getting to the point where they're going to utterly, um, in fact, they're being set against Babylon, but they're going to be utterly uh, uh, doing away with this place. All right. And the Lord has it on their spirit, man. You know, so that's all I wanted to point out. Just more provocations for the beast to hate the whore, or or the nations to hate the whore. Okay. Um, and the Lord said what in Revelation? It said, and the nations were angry. Why are they angry? All right. Well, you see it. Revelations 11:18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead. See, and the time of the dead, which is what the heathen nations, they represent the dead. Okay, Isaiah 14 goes into it. Baruch, even the book of Baruch, how art thou defiled and go down into the grave with the dead, I believe, how it goes. But it is referring to the heathen as the dead. Okay, this is Baruch 3, and yep, here we go. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land? And this is just proving that the heathen are referred to as the dead, right? It says that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. All right, it's figuratively saying, all right, because it's going to say it right here. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom, for if thou hadst walked in the way of God, thou shouldst have dwelled in peace forever. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding. All right. And the scriptures say, those that wander out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right. So the dead is the heathen because they don't have the word of life. Right. So just to point that out there. So the dead is talking about the heathen or referencing the heathen. Revelations 11:18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, right? The heathens, they're going to be judged, right? Because they're going to play a major role in this world's war, all right? The war to end all wars, all right? And they're going to get a lot of casualties, right along with, Babylon the Great, right? It says that they should be judged, all right? And that's what the battle of Jehoshaphat is all about. Yahweh Shaphat. All right. He's going to plead with the nations for his people. Okay. Because starting with Esau, Edom, they have us in a captivity. All right. It says, in that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. Right. And so the Lord is coming as one would, and liken unto a reconnaissance mission to save his people. All right. It says, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Right? And that's Esau. So I'm going to end it right there, Lord. When it's edifying, as you can see, the events in the world are on par with prophecy, and it's just more provocation for these nations to hate the whore. So, Lord, when it's edifying, until next time, let's say shalom.